Okay. Hello, Grace. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm taking time to set up. Just trying to get my co-host on the show. For those who have joined us, thank you for coming on. Um, hello. So all those who have come on, welcome. Hello, Grace. Are you on now?
Yes.
All right, good. Sorry, everyone, for the yes. Good evening. Good evening, everybody that has been able to join us. Thank you for coming on. Sorry for the time it took to start. There were some technical problems. So my name is Jane Ballat, and I am the MD CEO of Janiba Ginger. And with me here on the Janiba show is registered dietitian Grace Abasri Mochonogo. So we're here today to see what we can discuss a little bit about the health benefits of health juices, in comparison to Orthodox medicine. So as you all know, our mantra on Janiba Ginger has been healthy living, healthy lifestyle, health is wealth, stay gingered and all that. It's not just about talking the talk, it's about walking the talk. So we just felt it's a good opportunity to actually have like a platform where our customers, our lovely viewers can get to see the face behind the Janiba Ginger products and also the Janiba Ginger Company. Okay, so like I said, with me is dietitian Grace Sabasirim. She's been with us since we started from inception. She's vetted our recipes. She's been our advisor. She's been with us, as you can imagine, helped us build our recipes and all that. So she is a registered dietitian and nutritionist. She has a wealth of experience. She's worked with a lot of prestigious institutions. In fact, my first encounter with her was at Gariki General Hospital. I'll never forget that day, and I was so enthralled by the wealth of knowledge that she had. So she's somebody who believes in enjoying realistic meal plans, habit changes, using practical nutrition in practical ways to be able to help, develop good meal plans and good habits, with our diets. She specializes in medical nutrition for individuals, help managing of chronic diseases like hypertension, kidney disease, PCOS, and diabetes. So she's quite an expert in what she does, and she's supposed to have this show 2 weeks ago, but she had to go for something else. So we're in very good hands with dietitian Grace today. So I hope that we're able to get, not just information and education, but also be entertained. We'll try to make it as interactive as possible and as fun as possible. We won't also take your time. So without wasting any more time, let me go straight into what we want to discuss today. So what I'll present to dietitian Grace is I'll just present to her, the main topic, which is if you had a serious health issue, would you rely primarily on natural remedies or orthodox medicine? So I want her to be able to guide us and teach us on this, so we know the benefits of the juices we put into our systems, and how this can either complement, the medicine that we get from our doctors, or how that can even replace, taking medicine and help us to manage our health conditions. So over to you, dietitian Grace.
Thank you very much for having me, right? So some people want to join, but they're asking me to share the link. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So I don't know, is it possible you share the link so that I can share with them? Because I'm trying to do that right away. But okay, so regarding the question you asked, if I get you right, you're asking if natural juices can replace orthodox medicine.
Yes.
Okay, in that regard, I'll say no. Okay. And the right thing is to complement.
Okay.
It's not a replacement per se. And the reason is the orthodox medicine, they are researched before you get to take any of it. It's being researched, all right? The prescriptions are given, okay? So it's something that is scientifically proven to aid recovery or management of whatever condition it is. So that's like I won't say the primary, but in our world, that's like the first thing people go for, orthodox, right? And the reason is it's already scientifically proven that okay, this works for, let's say, high blood pressure. Okay, so you cannot replace that orthodox medicine with juice, right? So what happened is you complement.
Sorry, Grace. I've sent the link on the chat. Can you see it? So you can send to those that want to join.
Okay.
Or should I send it to your WhatsApp, which is easier?
Yeah, I think you should send to WhatsApp because I'm trying to copy from the chat. I can see, but it's not copying. So if you can send it, that will be fine. So I think she's trying to share the link with me. Yeah, you're back, I think. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So back to our discussion. What this actually is a kind of complement what we are taking. It's not going to replace orthodox medicine. Okay. For reasons, as much as yes, scientifically the juices are equally okay, proven to help manage some medical conditions, but then not place orthodox medicine. So that is why I have challenge when people go for beetroots, for instance, beetroot juice just because they want to manage high blood pressure and you want beetroot. Yes, it does help because of the oxalates, but then it's not going to be a replacement for your high blood pressure medication. So you cannot really start with juices.
Yes. Okay, that's good. I mean, I agree with you, Daishan Grace, because I was actually going to also share one of my own personal life experiences with what you were saying. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, which is an overactive thyroid. And the doctors, they put me on medication. And the medication was, I also had to be tested monthly to be sure that the medication was working. So I followed with what they had instructed. They had initially said they'll put me down for surgery, but I was very reluctant for that. My next option or my next point of action was to get a second opinion. So luckily for me, I have an auntie who is in the medical line and she's experienced, but she's based in the UK. So I had to call her to get guidance. And she told me that I should not worry, that it doesn't have to end in surgery. I should just follow what my doctors are saying. That is very common in the part of Nigeria I come from, which is Kaduna State, that because of our water So I went, or she even told me that I had a cousin that had that problem. I could even call the cousin to know what she did because she never had surgery. So that was what I did. So I carried on with that. But over time, my system got used to the medication. So it didn't seem to be working anymore. So I called her again and she told me that why don't I complement the medication with a lifestyle change, diet change. So for that one, I couldn't get at the time a doctor to guide me or a dietitian. So I went ahead to do my research on Google on the kind of foods that people that have hyperthyroidism should take, even the supplements they should take. So I went ahead and I did my research and discovered a lot of, whole foods. I discovered guava leaf juice. I discovered coconut milk. I discovered taking non-iodized salt. These things. And I also had to take out certain foods as well, like spinach. Certain foods that were rich in iodine had to go out. And I also had to adopt kale. So with that dietary change, in addition to the medication I was taking, as I did my monthly checkups, we discovered that my thyroid was getting back to normal. The function was normalizing. And before 6 months, I was taking off my meds. And they said, well, whatever I'm doing, I should continue. These are doctors now, not, because I, like she said, I kept following up with my doctors. So I was taking off my meds. And by the 6th month, I was told, you seem to be euthyroid, which is back, your thyroid is back to normal function. But yes, but go back and, keep doing what you're doing and come back in a year's time. If we check you and you are still fine, and that means, you don't need to take anymore. You are now fine and you are now good. And that was what I did. So I came back after a year and my doctor was shocked because he had actually told me that there's no way I will not have surgery. Only 20% of those that are diagnosed with hyperthyroidism don't end up having, surgery. So, it was like, so he was shocked and everything. So from there, I got to discover that food itself is medicine.
Yeah.
We shouldn't overly rely on conventional Orthodox medicine for treatments. Yes, they are good, and like dietitian Grace said, it's important that you also see a doctor, get a diagnosis, and be treated accordingly. Don't just self-medicate. But at the same time, do your own part. Eat right. You can be taking medication, and what you are eating is actually not helping the medication work. So it helps on your own part to actually go ahead and do your own research. So for me, that was what helped me. And that was also what formed my desire to go ahead and even come up with something like this business, And to be honest, since we started with Janiba Ginger, we have recorded testimonies of some customers that have come back and said, wow, what you're doing is good, continue. I had one that also had about 2 people that have had hyperthyroidism that have come to me and I've guided, and we have recorded success stories. I will tell them, do this, do that, and if you can afford it, also buy these supplements. Turmeric is also very, very good as well for thyroid function.
I see your network.
Sorry, can you see me now?
Yes.
Am I back now?
Yes,
Yes.
you're back.
Yes, so we shouldn't completely ignore conventional medicine in anything that we're doing. We should see our doctors, follow what they say, but also complement it with the requisite diets that you need to follow. Which is why I encourage us. I don't know, Dietitian Chris, I don't know. Do you get a lot of customers that actually, or rather patients, that actually come to you for guidance on what they need to eat to help with their medical conditions? Because I don't know if it's very common, with people here in Nigeria. I don't know. So what's your take on it?
Over the years, it's becoming common. Yeah, I think about, let's say 9-10 years ago, it wasn't this common. Yeah, right. But it's common now because people are beginning to understand the impact of what they eat on the health, and even while managing the condition, the impact of what you eat. So it's actually it's becoming common. So we get a lot of that: hyperthyroidism, diabetes, PCOS, high blood pressure, a lot. Because just like what you said, you could be taking the medication, the Orthodox medication, and you are right. The doctor has prescribed for following it the way it is. But then if you do not handle the nutrition aspect, right, the Orthodox medicine is working, but it may take a longer time, right?
Yeah.
But why it's taking a longer time is something has not been fixed, which is what we are eating. Which, if
Yes.
when fixed, the Orthodox medication can work better, right? So, yes, currently it is better. People know about
That's good.
nutrition; they come for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay,
So
so
your
the
story
next
is
thing,
actually very unique.
yes,
Your story is actually very unique because there are
okay,
cases of people using juices, especially in early dictation, to manage dictation, right? So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they need to be guided. Why I say guiding is a person cannot just wake up and because a particular juice, because it's natural, is said to be good. You just take
yeah,
as you want, not considering
yeah,
other health histories, right? So, like in the case
yeah,
of hyperthyroidism now, if it is solely hyperthyroidism, you were taking your medication, you were eating right, and then the juice comes in as complement, it works better. But let's say there is hyperthyroidism and there is another issue like diabetes, right? You cannot just go ahead and take it anyhow.
okay,
So, guidance is
okay,
actually very important.
okay, all right, okay. So that's a good one to know because I didn't have an underlying health condition. It was just purely what do you call it, the hyperthyroidism. But that's an interesting point to add. That when you are also taking these juices, you should also take note that there are other health conditions that you may be dealing with that also need to be covered in what you are taking. So you have to be very well informed. And I think also there's portion control as well with the juices.
Yeah,
I think yes,
yes,
there's
there is.
portion control as well. Yes, you don't overuse over like ginger drinks, for example. People make a lot of mistake by when they say, oh, ginger does this, ginger does that, and they rush into they're like constantly taking ginger every moment because they won't see the effect. I feel for me, number one, if you overdo it, it will have its own side effects
Yes,
because
everything done
taking this
in excess has a side effect.
is side effect. Yes. And I also feel that we need to be patient for things to work. Like with this hyperthyroidism, I was treating with this other fruits and vegetables and dietary change. It took years. It took years for me, because at the time that I was diagnosed, my eyeballs were almost popping out. My skin was dark. Of course I'm dark skinned, but it was darker. And then I had lots of acne. They were not treated, and then the base of my neck was getting swollen, and then I was losing my hair, my hair was falling out. Then I had tremors in my hands. My breathing was very, very, very hard. So these symptoms didn't disappear overnight, even though, yes, the blood tests were showing that there was improvement. It's like for my eyes, it took a very long time for my eyes to go back to where they were. So sometimes when we have been advised on certain types of what do you call it, juice treatments or juice or what do you call them, alternative medication to regular medicine, well, when we are told to complement them, the effects take time to show. So you need to be patient with it as well to work. You have been feeding your system with lots of food that had not been favoring what your body wanted, and that was why you ended up in whatever you were having in most cases, where they're not hormonal. Like my own hyperthyroidism is a hormonal thing. It's not caused, like I said, also there are other external factors, like I said, the water where I come from, but it also has a lot of hormonal foundation. So your system has been used to a certain type of diet. It's going to take a while for it to now learn a different diet before it will begin to respond, and you see what you're looking for. So there needs to be, so don't overload on these foods. As your doctor tells you, oh, take this medicine twice a day. You should say that she's trying to guide you as well. They may say, okay, take this liter of ginger drink per day, so it's the same thing. So I also encourage people that this is also a way in which you can get the benefits of these juices, when you're taking them in addition to medication to treat or to help to manage health conditions. Okay, all right. So I guess our next question, we still have some time. How does the nutritional content of freshly made juice compare to commercially available juices? I'll repeat it again. How does the nutritional content content of freshly made juice? That's how does the nutrition in juices that we take compared to those that are in commercial juices? So now we're looking at nutrition content. Why should I go and buy a health juice over buying Fanta or over buying, let's say, Power Horse? Maybe I have exams coming up and I want to keep awake. Why should I go ahead and buy pineapple juice? Because you say pineapple juice has carbs. So yes, that's that.
Okay. The thing is, in nutrition, comparing the both, you really cannot compare natural to those ultra processed. Okay. Now, saying that a lot of people go for the fizzy drink, the soft drinks, because of the energy they need, right? It keeps them awake. It does this to them. They are able to do carry out the activity for the day. I do understand that, but what's giving you the energy is the sugar, and it's an added sugar in the process. I won't say processed. Everything is processed in the ultra processed, right? The commercially processed ones. But now in the natural juice, why we recommend it is the same sugar you are looking for, you will equally get in that natural juice, but it just comes in a more natural form, which is better. The energy boost you need is in the pineapple juice you're taking. You need it, unlike the other one, And now in the pineapple juice, you can actually, because it's natural, you can overtake actually. There is possibility of overtaking. But then because it's natural, if you take the quantity that you need, it plays the function it's supposed to play for you. And that's actually very perfect. You won't be scared of what's happening. Are you taking excessive sugar and all of it? But with the other type of juices you're taking, it's not just about the added sugar, preservatives and all. But now in the natural juices, it's in its raw form, right? It's no added sugar, no coloring, no... it comes whole, like is a blend of your mango, for instance. You just blend your mango and juice it, right? The other ones, you have to have flavor for it to come out really nice. Okay. So now comparing the both nutritionally comparing the both, this is more natural. The sugar is fructose, right? That is talking about natural form of juice. But the other one, some actually go as far as having about more than 6 teaspoons of sugar. Some have like 15, depending on the brand you are thinking, right? So, and that is exceeding the recommended intake of sugar as an individual. If you're taking a soft drink, some of them, that one can you're taking or one bottle you're taking will exceed your recommended sugar intake per day. I remember that the recommended sugar intake per day is combining everything you are eating in a day. This is the quantity that you should not exceed. That's about 25 grams for adults, and for children, 15. Right. So in a bottle of whatever that has more than 25 grams of sugar, so you've exceeded that. That will be altering some things in the body system, and that's what will come about some health issues, right? So, and even your gut health, which is the foundation of our health, it's taking all of those, is altering the healthy bacteria and then feeding on those unhealthy ones, which now dominate, and conditions like diabetes, high cholesterol, a lot of them actually. So I don't want to compare the both. They are two different. They can't measure up really.
They are parallel, okay. But I have a question in this. My mom has diabetes that she's managing, and there are times that because of the medication she takes that are very strong, it can spike down. It can push down her blood sugar that she gets. She begins to shake. And in such instances, I know she has been advised to go and maybe she goes and gets sugar, and that she takes raw sugar, or she always has Coke in the fridge. Well, now that she has a daughter that has juices, that pineapple juice so in such instances where she needs a sugar rush, what should she take? Which is better? Should she go for pineapple juice, or should she go for...
We actually do recommend, in such instance where you have hypoglycemia that is being way lower than it's supposed to, we do recommend that sugar, we do recommend that soda, because it's a quick boost, right? But why do we recommend it? For me, why we recommend it is it's hard for you to see someone who has banana kept down or the pineapple juice down, right? But for you now,
Yes.
who you have this thing readily available, give it to
Yes.
mom and you will see she will be fine, right? In
Okay.
fact, people that have raisins at home, raisins
Yes.
will do the work, right? But then why we go ahead to recommend sugar or soda is because they are quick, they are easier to access, like they are quick to respond. You will respond quickly.
Okay. And then that moves me to another question again. You know, there's also this, I know when I had my first encounter with you, when we were talking about the recipes we're coming up with, you mentioned there was need for us to also have smoothies in our juice line. Because you said that, yes, in as much as juices are very good, you know, smoothies also have their benefits because they come with the flesh, you know, the fiber of the fruits or the vegetables involved. Then I shared with you a story of a customer who she likes, I think, was it pineapple juice? One of our flavors that she really likes a lot. And I think she has this ailment where what's it called? Where if you take a lot of pepper, it affects your colon or so. It's I can't remember the name of it now, but she was managing that. Sorry?
Is it gastric issues?
No, yeah, it's not gastric. It's sorry, pile. That's the word, pile. Yes, I was trying to remember pile. Yes. So she because of that pile, she can't take a lot of sugary things, but she likes the pineapple juice. So I think she took it over, you know, a while, and you know, called me and said, the next order. She said I shouldn't put pineapple. I said why? That she had this reaction, and she knows it's the pineapple because of the high carbs, you know, in the pineapple. So my question now is that you were saying that, yeah, I think what you told me at the time was that if I had known, or if I was aware, I should have advised her in buying these drinks that if you have this condition, taking juice is like a quicker hit to the body. It absorbs this faster, but probably if it was like a banana shake or like a pineapple smoothie, it may not have been as harsh or as system will not have reacted as quickly as it did. So just to put it out here as well, you know, juices, like we have said right now with the issue of this diabetes, trying to get something that can have an immediate effect on the body. Between juices and smoothies, would you still say that their smoothies are probably better because of this effect? Because it takes a while, you know, the body doesn't have that harsh reaction to taking certain types of foods or ingredients. Or would you say juicing should they complement each other, or is one better than the other?
Okay, there is
Yes.
no the thing is they should complement each other, right? And then the individual taking it is important. Now when I say the individual, is the health condition of this individual is important. Okay.
Yes.
Somebody who is okay, somebody who doesn't have a health issue, just likes taking juices and would always go for the commercial juices.
Yes.
The person is free to take the natural juice if they are looking for a healthy alternative, right? Now, for somebody who has a health condition that sugar has an impact on, smoothie will be the best option. And the reason is that in smoothie you still have the fiber, right? But unlike the juicing process extracts that fiber. Now, what you get is more of the fluid, right? Now, and that fiber is needed. Every individual actually needs that fiber. But now, imagine somebody who has a health condition and the sugar is having an impact, but they need fiber to extract it. So that fiber that you get from that smoothie, so both are actually okay. Both are actually okay. But what people need to know is what is recommended for them, what condition they are handling, right? And they stick to that. But smoothie juices, they are okay. But if there is a health condition, go for that smoothie. It's actually whole, like you get the fiber and all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dietitian Grace. We're actually out of time now. I don't know if any of our viewers who were kind enough to join us may have any questions to ask based off of what we've discussed this evening. We really appreciate you for coming on. We thank you for staying with us all through. I can see Juliet.
While we wait for them to ask, I think it's on the comment section. They will be dropping the question, right? So while we wait,
okay, yes. Sorry, yes, carry on.
Yeah, while we wait for that, okay, juicing is okay, smoothie is okay, right? Because
Okay.
they are all still natural.
Okay.
But taking your fruits whole, like just taking your mango, actually
Yes.
different from these things, right? Taking your
Okay.
vegetables whole is different from this, is different from juicing it, and is different from making it into a smoothie. Now,
Okay.
smoothies can work, juices can work, especially if the individual don't like the whole process of chewing vegetables. And you know, when you
Yeah.
take your fruit whole, you get the fiber, right? So in that
Yeah.
situation, you can opt for your smoothie, you can opt for your juice. But if you don't have the opportunity
Mm.
to have your fruit, it's good you take whole. It's actually very
Mm.
beautiful.
Okay. I think I also agree with you because there's a certain like for example, if you are on a detox diet or detox cleanse, for example, I do think there's a point at which you may need some of this fiber to also give you strength, because juices having the effect they have, they can, we are doing cleansing because you want your stem to be cleansed of, whatever it is that has been in it. So your colon is going to have a natural rush,
Okay.
so you need something that will not just keep you, strong, but also hold you there as well. And that's why I agree with you with the smoothies or eating some of these vegetables whole. I know most diets, most cleansed diets always have either salad with them or just something that you can eat to give your system some roughage, some fiber.
Okay.
So I strongly agree with you. Yes.
Talking about cleanse, okay, is actually the function of our liver and our kidney to do that, right?
Okay.
The,
Okay.
you know this whole detox diet, detox juice, and all of
Yes.
that, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry to say, but then it's the function of our kidney and our liver to do that. And they've been prepared, they're
Okay.
actually doing this work 247. So there is actually no
Okay.
death that the juice want to go and pull out from the body, right? Is eating
Okay.
whole that actually takes care of that process of you want to detox, just like what you say, taking the roughage is the fiber, right? So now
Yes.
that's the whole sample. But pinning it to a particular type of diet to detox or to
Yes.
clean, there's
Yes.
no death in the body that the tea
Okay.
or whatever you want to detox. So is eating
Mm.
whole. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's actually very good for us to know. I didn't even know that. So thank you for that extra information today.
Welcome,
All
ma'am.
right, everyone. Nobody has come because I think they're all okay. Maybe, hopefully, in subsequent shows, we may have more, more questions or more interaction from our viewers. But we thank you all for coming to join us today. We hope that you've been very informed. We hope that you've also been entertained. And I pray that with what we've taken today, it will help us to better know how to manage our health and also our diets, on a daily basis. All right, then. Take care and have a lovely evening. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.